Hello, it's Quan Moon again. I'm here to make another video. Pinky is here, of course. She was eagerly waiting for us. She was sleeping for a bit and then she came out to join us for Pinky because she wants to show her face on camera. Isn't that right, Pinky? Remember, humility is a virtue, Pinky. Humility. Humility is a virtue. But she wants to be on camera today. And so, say hello. Hey, Pinky. Hey, Pinky. Hey. Look into the camera. Hey, Pinky. Look, that's you right there. That's you. Alright, so you want to get started and read? Alright, let's get ready. Let's get started and read a little bit. I'm going to make it short today because it is hot outside. Alright. Alright, I'll read two passages from Still in the Human Condition, page 36. Sub-passage called The Dark Chain of Causation, or the passage called The Dark Chain of Causation. The Blessed One said this: Thus, Ananda, independence upon feeling, there is craving. Independence upon craving, there is pursuit. Independence upon pursuit, there is gain. Independence upon gain, there is decision making. Independent upon decision making, there is desire and lust. Independence upon desire and lust, there is attachment. Independence upon attachment, there is possessiveness. Independence upon possessiveness, there is niggardliness. Independence upon niggardliness, there is defensiveness. And because of defensiveness, various evil and unwholesome things originate: the taking up of clubs and weapons, conflicts, quarrels and disputes, insults, slander, and falsehood. That's basically the dark chain of causation. You know, there's, anytime you desire something, eventually it'll lead to war. That's what that passage is saying. This is one of my favorite similes in the human condition, in the passage without discoverable beginning. Dog on a leash. Monks, this samsara is without discoverable beginning. At a first point is not discerned of beings roaming and wandering unhindered by ignorance and fettered by craving. There comes a time, monks, when the great ocean dries up and evaporates and no longer exists, but still I say there is no making of an end of suffering for those beings roaming and wandering unhindered by ignorance and fettered by craving. There comes a time, monks, when Siniru, the king of mountains, burns up and perishes and no longer exists, but still I say there is no making an end of suffering for those beings roaming and wandering unhindered by ignorance and fettered by craving. There comes a time, monks, when the great earth burns up and perishes and no longer exists, but still I say there is no making of an end of suffering for those beings roaming and wandering unhindered by ignorance and fettered by craving. Suppose, monks, a dog tied up on a leash was bound to a strong post or pillar. It would just keep on running and revolving around that same post or pillar. So too the uninstructed worldling regards form as self, feeling as self, perception as self, volitional formations as self, consciousness as self. He just keeps running and revolving around form, around feeling, around perception, around volitional formations, around consciousness. As he keeps on running and revolving around them, he is not freed from form, not freed from feelings, not freed from perception, not freed from volitional formations, not freed from consciousness. He is not freed from birth, aging, and death, not freed from sorrow, lamentation, pain, dejection, and despair, not freed from suffering, I say. That is a very important simile and passage. It basically, talks about the world today. Most of the people roaming it being the uninstructed worldling, and how they keep revolving around the same post in this endless discoverable this discoverable without discoverable beginning, samsara. They continue on from birth to aging to illness to sickness to death, and then over and over again, because the uninstructed worldling regards form as self, feeling as self, perception as self, volitional formation as self, consciousness as self, when in reality it is not a part of ourself. It is impermanent. It always changes. But they keep clinging on to these things as self, and so they keep revolving around the same post or pillar, making the same mistakes over again, repeatedly. Not freed from birth, not freed from death, not freed from suffering. Lamentation, dejection, sorrow, pain, dejection. Not freed from death, not freed from birth. That's what the Buddha said, which is incredibly wise words. And to think that so many people today have no idea what this passage would mean, and so they keep revolving around the same post or pillar. Fantastic simile. Okay, I'm out.